point R given to us. When we measure elasticity at this point, then it is termed as point elasticity of demand. Alright. Then second is arc elasticity. Arc elasticity, arc means a given range, a limited range. Suppose we were given a point over here. Now we give one more point over here, R1. Now this is the range given to us between R to R1. This is finite range. When we measure elasticity in this, between this finite range, then we term it as arc elasticity. Now the difference between these two, that you are measuring, when you are measuring point elasticity, that the changes in price and quantity is very small. If you want to measure very small changes, then you use point elasticity. But if the changes are more or larger, then you take up the arc elasticity method. Alright, so we saw the diagram on the board where I have shown you the point elasticity method and arc elasticity. Now the arc elasticity method can be viewed from two perspectives. One is proportionate or percentage method, and the second is total expenditure method. Right. So the arc elasticity of demand can be measured from two perspectives again. The one is percentage or proportionate method, and the second is total expenditure method. Overall, the methods of measuring elasticity are three. One, point method that you have seen, and then second is percentage or proportionate method, and third is total expenditure method. Now the percentage or proportionate method says that price elasticity of demand is measured by the ratio of percentage change in the quantity demanded to a percentage change in the price of the commodity. For this we are given a formula, right? The formula you can use to solve numericals. I'll be showing you the formula on the board, and then you can send your problems for the numerical on the group, right? Alright, so the formula for percentage or proportionate method you will be seeing in the slide, but it says that EP is equal to delta Q upon delta P into P upon Q. Now there are certain things, there are certain features and advantages that you can have with the proportionate method. One of the features which are important in this method is that here we ignore the signs, right? Because it's an inverse relationship between demand and price. There the relationship is negative, so the outcome will definitely be coming in negative number. But generally we ignore the sign. Whatever sign comes, we ignore that, and then we measure the elasticity through proportionate method. Now then they say that note that the elasticity of demand is not the same as the slope of the demand curve, right? The slope of the demand curve divides the change in price by the change in quantity without referring to percentage. But through percentage method you can have an exact change you can find out by the percentage or proportionate method, right? This is all for percentage method. Now we are coming to total expenditure method. What do you mean by total expenditure? The total expenditure or total outlay is the expenditure incurred by the households on the purchase of a commodity. It is, what is total expenditure? How do you derive total expenditure? It is the product of the price of a commodity and the quantity demanded at that price. That is TE, total expenditure, is equal to P, price of the commodity, multiplied by Q, quantity demanded, where T stands for total expenditure, P and Q stands for price and quantity respectively. For example, if 10 units of a commodity are demanded when its price is rupees 6, the total expenditure will be 10, 6 into 10, that is rupees 60, right? Now according to this method, elasticity of demand can be measured by considering the change in total expenditure, right? I hope you are catching the difference between the different degrees. Here we are evaluating, we are focusing on the change in total expenditure, not per unit change in demand, but overall outlay, how it is reacting to the change in price. That is what we are going to see. So it says that elasticity of demand can be measured by considering the change in total expenditure incurred on a commodity as a result of change in the price of the commodity. We compare the total expenditure incurred on a commodity before and after price change, and thereby we can know about the price elasticity of demand for the good. As you can see on the board, we are going to study the total expenditure method, the degrees of total expenditure. Total expenditure can be derived by multiplying price into quantity. P stands for price of the commodity and Q stands for quantity demanded. The first degree of total expenditure method is elastic demand. So first degree is elastic demand, and it says when a fall in the price of the commodity results in increase in the total expenditure and a rise in the price leads to decrease in total expenditure, elasticity of demand will be greater than 1. So when total expenditure moves in the opposite direction, you can see it here that when price was 60, the quantity was 10 and expenditure was 600. 60 into 10 is equal to 600. When price falls from rupees 60 to rupees 50, the demand increases from 10 units to 13 units. 15 into 13 is equal to 650. Our focus would be here on total expenditure, right? So they are moving in the opposite direction. When the price is falling, the quantity demand is increasing, and when the expenditure increases because of falling price, we say that total expenditure is greater than 1. Let us see it in the diagram. So you can see in the diagram, it is according to the table, according to the schedule. When the price was 60, the demand was 10, right? And when the price falls from rupees 60, demand increases to 13. Right? The area of rectangle OB is greater than the rectangle area of the rectangle OA. Can you see that? So we can say that the degree of elasticity over here over total expenditure is greater than 1. Is it clear? The second degree is inelastic demand. What you can see over here in the schedule again, when the price is 60, the demand is 10 and total expenditure is again 600. But when price falls from rupees 60 to 50, the demand increases from 10 units to 11 units only. But the total expenditure falls, right? So what is happening over here? What does it say is that when a fall in the price of a commodity reduces total expenditure. When the price falls, the total expenditure falls, and when the price rises, the total expenditure rises. That means both of them, they are moving in the same direction. Then we term it as less than. Again I will say, when the price and total expenditure, they move in the same direction, then the degree of total expenditure method will be less than 1. This is what you can see over here again, that when the price was 60, the demand was 10. And when price falls to 50, the demand increases to 1. We don't have to focus over individual demand. We have to focus on the total expenditure that is coming out, right? Here again you can see that the area of rectangle OA is bigger than the rectangle area of rectangle OB. And so we can say the degree of this map is EP less than 1. The third degree of total expenditure is unitary elastic. First two were elastic, one was elastic demand, second was inelastic demand, and third is unitary. Now what happens in unitary? Again the price is 60, demand 10 units, total expenditure 16 to 10, 600. When price falls from 16 to rupees 50, the demand increases to 12. That is, it is following law of demand, but the total expenditure remains the same. What do you mean by this? That means when the total expenditure does not change, the both of them, they remain the same. The total expenditure remains the same in spite of change in price. Then you term it as unitary elastic demand, right? Here you can see it here in the diagram again. Quantity is on the x-axis, price is on the y-axis, and the curve, the total expenditure curve again is a rectangular hyperbola. That is the change in price is the change in price and the change in total expenditure, they both are offsetting each other. That is equal to 1. So here TE will be equal to 1 or EP, total expenditure will be equal to 1. Is that clear? Alright, so now we can see the relationship between the elasticity of demand and total expenditure with the help of this diagram. What you can see is OX-axis is showing the total expenditure of the consumer and OY-axis is showing the price. We have studied 3 degrees of total expenditure. One is greater than 1, where price falls, the total expenditure increases, price rises, total expenditure falls. And then the second is where we have studied that is less than 1, that they are moving in the opposite direction. When price rises, the expenditure falls, and price falls, expenditure rises, right? And the third degree is equal to 1, where both the changes, they are moving, they are the same. When the price changes, accordingly the total expenditure, it remains the same, right? So those 3 degrees we are depicting over here. M and M1. M is the one part of expenditure and M1 is the increased expenditure, right? When the price was P, the total expenditure was M, right? Then when the price falls from P to P1, the total expenditure increases from M to M1. That you can see with the help of dotted line. So the first curve, the first part of the curve shows that degree of zone 1, that is EP, is greater than 1 over here. This is elastic demand, right? Then over here we have changed a little, changed the sequence. The second zone we are taking equal to 1, that is unitary. What happens over here, that when the price changes, the total expenditure does not change, it remains the same. So when the price changes from P1 to P2, the total expenditure remains M1, which you can see in this area. The curve is the constant one, right? Then comes the third zone or third degree, that is less than 1. That is when price falls further from P2 to P3, the total expenditure falls from M1 to M. That we have shown with the curve, right? In this zone, EP is less than 1. This is the relationship diagram of total expenditure with the demand. Is it clear, children? Alright, so we said that arc elasticity can be measured with the help of 2 methods. One was proportionate method and the second was total expenditure method. Both the methods we have seen. Now we are going to see in detail the point method or geometric method. Geometrically, price elasticity of demand can be measured with the help of what is known as point method, right? According to this method, price elasticity of demand at any point on the demand curve can be measured with the help of a formula, and the formula says EP is equal to line segment below the point on the demand curve. We have studied that we take a point on the curve, right? Line segment below the point on the demand curve divided by line segment above the point on the demand curve. Now we have 2 variations over here. We will be measuring it on a straight line demand curve, on a linear demand curve, and on a non-linear demand curve. When we measure it on a straight line demand curve, suppose we want to measure price elasticity of demand at point R. Suppose we want to measure point elasticity on a straight line demand curve or on a linear demand curve. We are given a point R over here. Quantity on the x-axis, price on the y-axis. The formula for measuring elasticity at point R is line segment below the point on demand curve and line segment above the point on demand curve. The point R is given, and if you want to measure elasticity at this point, the formula will be EP at point R will be equal to lower line segment, that is the lower line segment divided by the upper line segment. This follows RB lower lying segment upon RA upper lying segment, and this shows this area is greater than this, so the elasticity will be equal to greater than 1. Similarly, if you want to measure elasticity at point K, again EP at point K is equal to lower line segment upon upper line segment. This is equal to KB upon KA, right? And therefore, as it appears, this portion is smaller, this segment is smaller than this, so it proves EP will be less than 1 in this.